Right, Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions, here with Stretham's finest, Chris Bourke. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, all good, thanks, all good.
Now then, your little story. You were supposed to fight for an international title on Friday. You went in the hotel, I presume, on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Take up the story, because people will be interested to know how this whole sequence of events works. You enter the hotel on the Tuesday.
Yeah, so we went to the hotel on Tuesday, done our COVID tests, and then we had to stay in our rooms until we got the results back. So that's about 24 hours.
That must be hard in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what I mean? I just bring like my Amazon stick and just watch TV. But it's not. The thing is, like, even like the room service and that, it all has to come to your room. You can't eat in the kitchen or anything.
You still got to be careful with your weight as well, haven't you?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's annoying, but everyone's in the same boat. So
what happened? Did you get a knock on the door the next morning, or?
Your phone rings in your room, and they say to come up to reception and get your results, basically.
So you went and got yours, and all clear?
Yeah, all clear. And then
what happened?
Well, then I heard that Rambaletsa passed, but his coach failed it.
At what point did you find this out? Was there much of a gap?
It was actually before I found out my results. It was,
really?
Yeah, so I sort of found out.
So yours didn't matter then?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was hoping they could maybe get someone else. So I found out about Rambaletsa, and then I got like the phone call like an hour later saying to just get my, because you have a red pass wristband until you pass it, and then you get a green wristband.
Yeah. So you had to evict, pack your bags and get out?
Pretty much, yeah. We well, I stayed there for the rest of the day because they were trying to get a different opponent. But then, because of the whole getting the tests and getting the results and stuff, and the last minute, they just couldn't get anyone. So yeah, just pretty much had to go home.
So Rambaletsa was just basically had to travel back to Preston or wherever he lives now, sort of?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think.
Did you encounter him at all over the?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually see him at all. But yeah, I think because he's been in contact with his coach, the fight couldn't go ahead, even if he wanted someone else in his corner.
Yeah, I think everyone just must be. I mean, you think of the dynamics of a normal fight week. Like you say, once you get that last spar out of the way, you think, okay, you shouldn't get injured now.
Yeah.
And then you sort of enter into fight week and you just sort of think about the press conferences, the workouts, the weigh-in. So yeah. I suppose the main thing on your mind is weight going into fight week. But now you must be on tenterhooks about this bloody COVID test.
It is. It's something. It's not something I didn't really think about. But you can't control it. It's out of your hands. You know, I'm doing what I can, but you can't control what other people are doing. So it's frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I was just focusing on my weight and getting to championship weight, and I was on target. And then the day before the weigh-in, you hear that, it's just like a bit of kick of the teeth.
How were you? Were you just totally deflated by it all? Yeah,
I was a bit gutted. It had been a long camp. I was feeling good. It was the day before the weigh-in. I was focused and ready for it, you know. But everything happens for a reason.
Were you inconsolable at the time, though?
No, do you know what? I just had a few days to like myself and just sort of just cracked on, really.
Now it was a big fight. I mean, Rambaletsa, as we know, has a recent knack of taking young prospects unbeaten records. So, I mean, you were ready to take that step, and I believe there was 1 or 2 international titles at stake.
Yeah, the WBC silver. Yeah.
Which would have been it gets you some sort of ranking, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Top 15.
Yeah.
But the good news is that this fight has been reinvented. You tell us.
Yeah, Martin phoned me yesterday to say it's been rescheduled for the 5th of December.
Which, of course, is Anthony Yard against Lyndon Arthur. Another big show. It's also Frank's sort of 40th year in professional boxing celebration type show. So you've done well there, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm buzzing. You know, I got a really good manager, Martin, and Frank's done well for me because I didn't know, after this got cancelled, I didn't know if I was going to get out this year. And that was the main thing that was bothering me, really, because I've been in a long training camp. So I'm buzzing.
That would have been an awful sort of thought if this had have lingered into next year, is how do you play Christmas? Because you're at a level of fitness where you're kind of ready to go, and then you sort of let all that go over that 3 or 4 day period, 5 days, however long, Christmas, New Year, a week. you know, to pick it up again for
That's
early
it.
February.
I'm
I mean,
like-
how would you have played that? It would have been
Yeah,
awful.
exactly. I mean, I would have felt like I'll probably be fine early next year, but then it's like I've trained all through my birthday and stuff. I wanted to get this fight out of the way and enjoy Christmas, and then that wasn't looking likely, so it was a bit gutting.
But good, all's well that ends well.
Exactly. Everything happens for a reason.
massive. Now you're on a massive show, probably a bigger show, but you still got the same tough opponent to counter. I mean, have you had much of a look at him?
I've seen little bits and bobs, and I'm going to look at him a bit more. But yes, he's a good kid.
Not kid.
Oh, a good man. Yeah.
I mean, he's 38 years old.
Mad.
You know, people probably look at that, but I mean, he doesn't look 38.
No, he
and
doesn't.
The way he's sort of the results he gets suggests he doesn't fight like he's 38 either.
Yeah. No, he's very experienced as well. So
It's a risk fight for you, isn't it? But it's a good step up, and it's what you want, I
yeah,
guess.
it's another step in the right direction, and it's another belt. So I need to be beating boys like Rambaleza.
Right, I'm going to ask you about two fights now, as your guys as a boxing expert. First of all, Daniel from this gym versus Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Juggernaut Joyce. How are you seeing this fight?
I'm buzzing for it, man. Dan's looking good in the gym. I think it's going to be a Dubois knockout.
Early?
I don't know. I mean, Joyce is tough and he can take a shot. I could see it going early, but I could also see it going into the later rounds as well.
Do you think it might be a culmination of, like you say, I mean, Joe does ship a few shots. Daniel hits very hard, but Joe can take a shot, clearly.
Yeah.
So do you think it was an accumulation of shots over a number of rounds that might finally weigh him down rather than that big single shot knockout?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Dan hits hard, but Joe is very tough and he's very fit and experienced. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be one shot. I think it'll just be, the continuous shots.
Do you think aesthetically the fight will gel nicely and it'll be explosives, or do you think it might be when sometimes when two big fellas collide, there can be a lot of coming together and holding on and bouncing off the ropes? Do you see it like that, or do you think it might be sort of clean and explosive?
With their styles, I think it'll be clean and explosive, but someone might change a plan and try and spoil, or you don't really know what. But from what I've seen from both fighters, I think it's going to be explosive.
Yeah, it's like you say, many a great fight on paper can be ruined by a negative coach, can't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Someone decides to spoil it.
Yeah.
Yard and Arthur, come on, talk to me. I was going to say two unbeaten light heavyweights. Yard lost to Kovalev, but two of the probably top three light heavyweights in the country.
Yeah, it's a massive fight, and it's a proper 50-50 as well. I think Lyndon was a very good amateur.
You must know him from the team, don't you?
Yeah, he's got a solid jab. He's a good fighter. I don't really know who to pick on that one. It's a proper 50-50.
Lyndon's jab could play a part, people reckon, don't they?
Yeah, but Yard, is very experienced as well. He's been pro for quite a long time.
Interesting perspective, you being a part of the GB mob. You've got these two big fights coming up, Daniel and Joe, Lyndon and Anthony. Now you've got Daniel and Anthony, who had next to nothing in senior amateur experience.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lyndon and Joe, who huge Team GB amateur experience, international tournaments. Joe's got an Olympic silver medal.
Yeah.
They're meeting, yet the two favourites with the bookies will be the two without the great amateur background.
Yeah, it just shows you pros is a different game.
I mean, it must say to people, you don't have to be one of these vaunted GB prospects or GB amateurs to come into the program and make a success of it.
No, I mean, you're only as good as your last fight, really, aren't you? And people have been impressed by Yard. They haven't really spoke much about his amateur experience. And but Lyndon had a tough fight against.
And him, wasn't it?
I think he got a little bit of criticism for it, but he was a good fighter. So it should have been a tough fight.
Do you feel that Sheffield experience has been an advantage to you? Do you think it is an advantage for pros coming through?
Only in the aspect of the training was very much quite like a pro training regime. We trained 2-3 times a day, done loads of rounds, sparring and stuff. So, and you do a lot of travelling and a lot of fight. Yeah, it can only benefit you, really.
Do you think the key advantage is what you just said, is the international experience and the fact that you generally get to fight the best at your weight in the world?
Yeah, and you got like loads that you got the best S&C strength coaches in the country. You got the best physios, so you learn a lot whilst you're there as well.
Must be a bit of a culture shock in a way, because you come out of that super regimented, super organised setup where you get everything done for you. You know, you probably, if anything, they probably iron your clothes for you and lay out your kit and everything else. And then, as a professional, you have to almost be completely self-sufficient. How do you find that contrast? It's like
it was difficult at the beginning, but you know, Peacock's is the perfect gym for me. But it was at the beginning when I was looking at different gyms. It's even the little things like the hand wraps and that, like this bandage. You just get all that in Sheffield, but then when you turn pro, you got to get that yourself, and just little things like that.
I mean, Team GB probably look after your passport and everything.
Yeah,
don't
I mean, they pay for your petrol, your food, your accommodation.
Well, they don't. The lottery ticket buyers do.
Yeah. But we didn't have to worry about it.
Actually, I mean, it must be. I mean, that is a big bonus of it. I mean, the fact that amateur stars get funding. I mean, you'd never heard of that years ago. I mean, you can actually live quite comfortably, can't you?
I mean, we didn't want for anything. It meant we could focus on boxing 100%. There was no excuses to not be giving it 100%.
Can you see why some people maybe stay in the amateurs maybe a bit longer than they should, because they probably get comfortable, regular income, expenses, everything else?
Yeah, and you know, if you enjoy it and you live close to there and you get on with everyone, it's an easy thing to do, to just stay there.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, yeah, but I always wanted to turn pro.
Right, so good luck with the preparations for the next date. We hope, everything crossed, it all goes well, you know, beforehand and during.
Yeah.
But thanks very much.
Nice one, cheers, thank you.